Hey everybody, welcome back. This is episode number 10. It is a brand new day, and unfortunately I won't have too much time to play tonight, but I did want to try to get at least one episode in. I did spend a little bit of time last night playing that Voltorb game. Got up to level 4 a couple times, and got about 500 coins, but I'll have to play some more of that later on. No entry beyond this point. If I'm not mistaken, this is the basement door to the department store, but I think we'll come back to that a little later on. We already defeated most, if not all, of the trainers in here, and I guess it was after midnight last night when I played, so it is still technically the same day. We fought these two guys. Anything back here? There is. Oh, this is the fashion thing, isn't it? If you dress up your Pokemon, you can get their picture taken. Alright, just once. For the sake of the Let's Play. I'm going to say no, even though I have no idea, but I think I can probably figure it out. Let's go ahead and dress up Olive. I feel like Olive would be more of the dress-up type. Alright, so even though I said no to explaining things, he's going to explain it anyway. Alright, I don't know if it's a minigame, or if you just dress them up. You know what I really miss is Pokemon Snap. That was a fun game where you had to make sure your Pokemon were like centered in the frame and all kinds of cool stuff. I don't know. Don't want to give Togepi a mustache. I guess that's all we have. So let's do some more of these little gold things. And what's this? Oh, background. Oh, poor Togepi's on fire. Alright, Pokeball it is. All done. Yes, Togepi is all dressed up. Sure. Needs to have a title. So... Unfortunately, oh, you can type anything. We will call this... Oh, never mind. I was going to go for Olive, but obviously that is not a option here. How about status? Cute Charm. Alright, we will call this Cute Charm, which is an ability that I think can make the attacking Pokemon become attracted to your Pokemon if they're different genders and they make contact. I could be wrong there. What's back here, like a Hall of Fame? Pretty much. Alright, there is Olive's picture called Cute Charm. I guess you can collect quite a few. A drawing for accessories, I probably shouldn't, but it's only 100, so I got a cube stage. Must be a background, but alright, I think that is enough fashion for one episode, and probably enough fashion for one Let's Play. Looks like we did do more or less all there is to do down here in the underground. P's telling us to be careful down there, but we've already been down there, so I think we're doing alright. The name raider, right? You can change the nicknames of your Pokemon, but I happen to like our nicknames. I put a lot of thought into them, so we're not going to bother talking to him right now. And of course, you can only rename a Pokemon that you are the original trainer for. That's something that I always thought was really cool, and that I wish they had kept in Pokemon Go, but they did not. So there's a train station here. From Johto to Kanto. Kanto, you may remember, is the region in the first game. Unfortunately, the train isn't here. Oh well. I like how they definitely put a lot of thought into the redesign of this game. They definitely took advantage of the better graphics and didn't just do a direct upgrade. They really thought, okay, if we were doing a train station from scratch, what would it look like? And not just, here's the one from Generation 2, let's do it the exact same way. So this is the radio tower. What do you want, you pest? Scram. Looks like a rocket grunt. Why is he checking out the radio tower? That seems spooky. And what is this place? the global terminal. So I don't remember this from Generation 2. Pretty sure it wasn't here before. And I think that's how you like trade with people via Wi-Fi. But not really interested in that at the moment. Alright, so we checked out the train station. Let's check out Radio Tower. Here we can get a radio card here. Thank you for the welcome. What does this say? Sales. That's interesting. What do they sell? Lottery corner. Okay, sure. So this is cool, and it's an incentive to trade Pokemon a lot. Because the more traded Pokemon you have, the more numbers you have for the lottery. Oh well, no match today, we can try again tomorrow. So each game version has a trainer ID, which is a 5-character number, or 5-number. 5-numeral number, I guess would be the way to say that. There's actually a hidden ID as well that makes sure the game can tell if it's really the same game or if it just happens to be the same number, because after a while, like 10,000 games, you will have repeat numbers on average. They have a quiz where we can answer questions correctly to win a radio card. Let's do it. If I remember correctly, these are pretty easy questions, and even if you get one wrong, you can just try again with the same questions. If only all exams were like that. Can you check the town map with your Pokegear? Of course we can. Alright, Nidorina can only be female. That is also true. Nidorino, a different Pokemon, is the male version. Kurt uses apricots. That's really challenging. I'm pretty sure I've got this one wrong in the past. I think these are the same questions as Generation 2. It's apricorns, not apricots. Gotta read carefully. It is impossible to use a TM on a Magikarp. That is actually true. Magikarp, I'm pretty sure, can only learn Splash, Tackle, and Flail. Alright, last one. Is he on with Marie? Oh, that's a tough one. See, if I don't have a radio card, how can I listen to Professor Oak's popular show? He does have an assistant, and it's something like Marie, but I want to say it's like Mary with a Y. Although, how could you really tell if it's on the radio, how it's spelled? I guess it's pronounced differently, Mary or Marie. But I'm sure there's some people who spell it this way and say Mary, and some who spell it the other way and say Marie. I'm going to say no. I think this is a trick question. Alright, I think I got it right. And we have a radio card. That's actually a really cool aspect of the game that they didn't include in later generations. At least I'm pretty sure they didn't. Wow, you did it! I thought the answer to the third question was surely apricots. I almost did too. Oops, time to go back to the gym. Alright, so she will be our opponent as the gym leader of this city. I guess it's a good thing we came here, because my other plan was to head to the gym, and I suppose she wouldn't have been there, so it saves us an extra trip. So where is my radio card? Under Pokegear. There it is. So there are a couple channels you can go for. Buena's Password, Drama, and Documentary. Mary, yep, it was Mary, I was right. So you can listen, and by listen it really means read. Professor Oak is talking about Poliwag, which you can find at Violet City. Mary says, Poliwag, if one walks with you as a companion, you'll think that's one typical Pokemon. Okay. Seeking may be seen around Union Cave. Good to know. Mary thinks Seeking, if you poke it... I wouldn't poke it, that's annoying. You might make a friend, or you might annoy it. Alright. I like how it plays, like Professor Oak's theme music, or... I forget where this is from, but I think it's like one of the first routes in Kanto. No, it's his lab. It's his lab music. That makes sense. Okay. DJ Ben with the Pokemon Music channel. So it is really nice how the games, they kind of trick young kids into reading, because I remember I read like every bit of text in these games when I was little, and I'm a pretty good reader today, I would say. So even if you don't like reading books, or your kids don't like reading books, try to get them to read Pokemon. After all, there's no voices in this entire game. Everything that's said, quote unquote, is actually read and just said in your mind. Or I guess read to you by somebody doing a Let's Play. Alright, well, there's some interesting shows, and there's even some cool locations where you can get like some bizarre radio signals. There's some really interesting things going on. Anthony, what do you want to call me about? Hey, I'm fine, Anthony. He saw some Geodude eat some berries. That is amazing. Glad you enjoyed that. Alright, you can see what time and day it is there. He's a big fan of Mary. Well, if you go upstairs, you can actually meet her. Unless there's a security guard. Lullabies make Pokemon sleepy. Oh, that's right. That'll become a plot point much, much, much later on. Second floor, Studio 2. Save up blue card points for some choice prizes. Not sure what that means. Oh, that's Buena. I think, oh, okay. So you have to listen to the radio for the password and then tell her about it. Not sure what prizes there are. Does she give prizes? I guess it's 0, but what can I buy? I want to know what I can buy. Probably not anything good, but you never know. Alright, this guy enjoys the radio. The only thing missing is the images, but they would call that TV. Sorry, authorized personnel only. It wasn't that way before, but there's something wrong with the director. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, that's a shame. I was hoping to come here and say hi to Professor Oak. I know he's here because I just heard him on the radio. You think I could ask the guard to, like, call up to Professor Oak and see if they could buzz me up, because he is an old friend after all. Well, not an old friend. I mean, I guess he is an old friend, but don't tell him I said that. Alright, we already read that. There's a PC here. Don't really need that for anything. Guess that's about all we can do at the radio tower. There is one more area I want to check out. This is one of my favorite places in the game. It is the Goldenrod City department store. I'm not a big department store shopper in real life. Not a big shopper at all, unless it's like Amazon. But I do enjoy the department store in-game. Lots of cool stuff to buy. Is this the TM story? I always like the TM story the best, or the TM floor. It's not, but they have some good items here. I wonder if the items in the department store are not based on your badge, and you can buy like anything here. We could get revives, we could get antidotes, even a full heal. Max potions, pretty much anything but full restores. And you can't buy max revives. I'm pretty sure that's a common element of all the games. Which is good, because I think items are already very powerful. If you could max revive your Pokemon, it would be really hard for anybody in the game to beat you. They have Ultra Balls, that's awesome. I feel like we might want to get one of those for some reason, but more importantly, they have Super and Max Repels. And I did the math before. I think the most efficient one is actually Super Repel. Although with opening your menu the whole time, you could argue that Max Repel is really better. Let's go ahead and, let's see, Repel is 100 steps. Yeah, Max Repel is definitely better than Repel. Is it better than Super Repel? Let's see, that will cost you 2.5 Pokédollars per step, whereas 2.5 times 250. Yeah, I think Super Repel is a little more efficient, but I don't really like opening my menu a bunch of times. So let's buy like 4 of these guys. It's really all I can afford at the moment. I want to save some money for other stuff. And he sells mail as well. Alright, so I'll probably be back to talk to that guy at some point. Not sure if any of these people give you items or anything. You got an Abra at the game corner, that's pretty cool. I think the game corner is actually a good way to get an Abra, because if you try to catch it in the real world, it's one, hard to catch. You have to put it to sleep right away with like a faster Pokemon. So if you have a high level Ghastly or a Haunter maybe, because they're pretty fast, but otherwise you're in trouble. Hoothoot I don't think is faster unless it's a lot higher level. But not only that, it's hard to train the Abra, but I think the Abra you get from the game corner might be a high enough level that you could evolve it a lot sooner. I could be wrong on that though. So these are in-battle effect items. They can increase your Pokemon stats temporarily during battle, but I don't really like using those. I do occasionally use a move to do the same thing, and moves don't cost money. It is kind of cool when a trainer uses those. There are a few trainers who will do that. I always thought there were more opportunities there for them to program like a smarter AI that would use those items, but it seems to be mostly random. These power up your Pokemon stats long term, but I wouldn't invest in them. And in fact, if you actually get any of these, like in the overworld, I would sell them because they're a lot of money. You can sell them back for 4,900 Pokédollars. If you're wondering what those do, they affect effort values, or EVs for short, but that's a really complicated game mechanic that I'm not going to get into. Unless you're doing like competitive Pokemon battling, it doesn't really matter at all. What does this guy do? He's talking about 4 Pokemon that evolved through trading. I think I've mentioned most, if not all, those guys before. And there are others, as we will see later on. Generation 2 additions. But yeah, effort values don't really matter unless you're into competitive battling. I've played through many generations before I even knew what they were, so they're not really that important for gameplay. What does this person sell? They sell TMs. Alright, this is my favorite person. TM70 is Flash. I kind of like how it gives you the description. You have to figure out what the move is on your own. Double Team increases your evasion, which can be really annoying for your opponent, but it's very luck-based. I think it's actually banned in most tournaments just because it's all based on luck, and that's not really that fun. A little bit of luck in a strategic game can make it interesting and make it dynamic and kind of challenge a player to react on the fly, but if you have too much luck, then it just becomes not really a measure of skill. This is, I think, False Swipe, which is a really good move for catching other Pokemon. It'll always leave the target, as it says, with at least 1 HP. I actually had a Gallade, which I spent quite a bit of time like breeding and training up, and it was like the perfect Pokemon for catching other Pokemon. It knew False Swipe for getting them down to 1 HP, Hypnosis, which I think I had to breed onto it by like a chain breeding, which is when you breed a move from one Pokemon to another Pokemon that doesn't normally learn it, and then from that Pokemon to another Pokemon that doesn't normally learn it, but the third Pokemon can't breed with the first Pokemon, so thus the name chain breeding. So Hypnosis to put to sleep, False Swipe, it knew Mean Look to stop it from running away in case you were trying to catch like one of the legendary dogs, which we'll encounter much later on. And I think the 4th move was just a good attack to kind of weaken it down. Maybe Brick Break or something like that. So it was definitely a fun Pokemon to have. I still have him somewhere. I think I named him Master because he was my equivalent to having a Master Ball, or at least the next best thing. Oh, this is Nature Power. I think Nature Power is based on the berry that they hold. This is Light Screen, and this is Reflect. We've talked about those before. Those are nice, but I think our Bayleaf will learn both of them just by leveling up. This is a really good Grass type attack. I might buy that. This is Solar Beam. It does a ton of damage, but it does take 2 turns to use. 1 turn to charge and another turn to actually do damage. But it's one of the best Grass type attacks in the game. It also is a 1-turn only move if you're fighting in sunlight, which is a weather condition, of course. This is Focus Blast. It's a very powerful special fighting attack. Special as in not physical. 120 base power, which is the same as like Solar Beam and Hydro Pump. At least the same in this generation. I think they lower all of them to 110 in later gens. It's kind of interesting how they do that, where they have the Pokemon get more powerful, but the moves get a little less powerful to kind of keep things overall balanced. So Focus Blast is really good, but not very accurate. TM38 is Fire Blast, which is also 120 base power, but for whatever reason they gave this one 85 accuracy, so it's more accurate than its equivalents. And speaking of its equivalents, we have Thunder here and Blizzard here, both really great moves, lots of power, but they are slightly inaccurate. Luckily, Thunder is fully accurate in Rain, and Blizzard is fully accurate in Hail. So if you have like a weather-based team, that can be pretty useful. I don't think Fire Blast is really ever totally accurate. It does do more damage in sunlight though. So I don't have enough for 2 of these guys. And this one is Hyper Beam. I guess it could be, no, it says Beam, so it has to be Hyper Beam. Giga Impact is very similar. So that's again a good move. It's kind of the opposite of Solar Beam in that it fires first and then you recharge. If any of you watch my Pokemon Red Let's Play, you definitely know what Hyper Beam does. It's a really good move and one of my favorite moves from Generation 1. But honestly, it's not that good. It's definitely not good in competitive battles, but in-game it can be useful. Unfortunately, it's a normal type attack, and normal type attacks don't have great coverage. They're not super effective against anything. They don't affect ghosts. They're not good against steel or rock, so they're not the best offensive type. So let me think here. I do want to buy Fire Blast. Let me just check what moves we have right now. And I wonder if Heracross can learn Focus Blast. It probably can, even though it's more of a physical attacker. Okay, yeah, its special attack is less than half its attack, so we are definitely not going to be teaching it Focus Blast. I think even a neutral type attack would probably be better. Although with Stab, I don't know, maybe. And it's so powerful. It might be better than like Leer, to be honest. It's just, it's such a waste of money because it's so much less power than attack. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. It might be like slightly better, but if you take into account the accuracy chance, not really worth it. Cherry could learn Solar Beam, which would be a really good grass type attack. But honestly, 2 Razor Leafs is almost as good as a Solar Beam, so in the same time you use a Solar Beam, you could just use 2 Razor Leafs. So not going to spend on that. A little tempted to teach Olive Solar Beam. Or Fire Blast. What does Charm do again? The target's attack is sharply lowered. You know what? I think I'm going to keep Togepi's current moves. I was really planning to teach Togepi both Solar Beam and Fire Blast. But that was before I knew that the Egg Togepi starts with Extrasensory, which is already a great move. Arguably better than the other two. So I think we might come back here and teach our Togepi Fire Blast. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just buy the TM while we're here. But for the next gym in particular, I think I am going to save Charm, because that could be a really clutch move. Alright, Fire Blast. We will take 1. Lots of money, but hopefully worth it. Unfortunately, it does seem that ooh, somebody gives away TMs on Sundays. I'll have to try to remember to come back here on Sunday. It does seem like we won't have time this episode to challenge the gym. That'll have to wait till next time. But I might try to do one more episode tonight. We'll see. We'll see if I have time. I have a raid tonight in SWTOR, so that's why I can't really try it right now. But maybe if I'm not too tired after the raid. Oh, maybe she's the one that comes out. No, she's not. It's not Sunday, so it can't be her. But there is a something that gives away different stuff. Tuesday's prizes. That must be for the lottery. Welcome to the Daily Drawing Center. Oh, today is Tuesday. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, the girl downstairs was Sunday. The lottery must be every day. So, sure. Why not waste our money on the lottery? At least it's fake money. Hey, we got the number 2 prize. The Repeat Ball, which I think catches Pokemon that you've already, or has a better chance of catching Pokemon that you've already caught before. Vending machine. It's one of the best parts of the rooftop. Lots of good prizes at the vending machine level in Celadon City, back in the original games. So these are basically very, very efficient potions. They cost less money and they heal more. Really the only downside to them is that you can't buy them in bulk, at least not from the vending machine. You have to click on them one at a time. I think freshwater is the best rate if you go health per dollar. So I'm going to buy a few of these, not to use in battle. If we're going to use them in battle, I would go with the lemonade. But although at this stage in the game, freshwater is probably fine. But these will be useful if we ever get to an area where I don't want to run all the way back to the Pokemon Center, but I want to heal up our Pokemon between battles, which, like I said before, I'm fine doing. It would definitely be good to have some freshwater then. Plus, I'm a big fan of freshwater. I always have my big water bottle here filled with ice water constantly. Every once in a while I'll have a soda. Not a big lemonade fan, but I'm trying to drink water as much as possible. It's good for you, it tastes good, it's cheap. What's not to love? Alright, we haven't been to the basement yet. I guess there's no stairs down to the basement, which is not up to code, but I guess Johto doesn't have very strict building codes. Technically a store like this would actually need at least 2 stairways as well, in case of emergencies. Alright, so we are in the basement level, and this is locked. I'm trying to remember, I honestly don't remember what this is, what part of the game you visit. Oh, I think I do remember, but it's only a vague memory. Oh, that was nice of Machoke. Thank you, Machoke. Please don't move it back. I really don't want to be trapped in here for the rest of the game. We found an Ultra Ball. That's a pretty cool prize. I like the idea that people use Pokemon to help them with their jobs. Um, that's actually really cool. It'd be really awesome to be on a construction site and to see like a bunch of Machoke and Machamp and other fighting types moving things around. Or like Psychic types. Like imagine what an Alakazam could do. That would save you so much money on crane costs. I imagine that Machoke are probably really useful Pokemon in a lot of industries. And it's true what Professor Oak said. People do tend to work with Pokemon. Alright, we have another item ball here. A burn heal. That's really good for making jokes when somebody insults somebody and you can say, ooh, better head to the Pokemart and get some burn heal. And then instead of laughing at your friend, they laugh at you because they're like, ah, what a nerd. But if you use the joke on other Pokemon lovers, then they love it. Alright, I think we've gotten all the items here. The only place we can't access is this area back here, which is interesting because not only does it have an item ball, it has a stairway as well. So I like they even put like louvers in the walls here. It's pretty cool. But alright, I think that's enough exploring for now. Please take me to the first floor. You don't see very many elevator attendants these days. It's kind of a useless job, honestly, and I guess companies finally figure that out. Like, how hard is it for people to push their own elevator buttons? Alright. Thanks for shopping. I'm not sure if there's really anything else. Oh, there is actually something else to see. Actually, there's two things else to see. So, yeah, sorry this was kind of a low-key episode, but Goldenrod City is one of those really big cities. In fact, it's the biggest city in Johto with the most to do. Bicycle shop. I don't know if we can buy a bicycle. I wonder if this is the guy from Kanto, since he opened a branch here. Ah, that's right, he gives you the bicycle if you just agree to advertise. You do have to give him your phone number. I don't like that. He's going to be calling me the whole time now, but we do have a bicycle, which is cool, and I am going to go ahead and bind the bicycle. Or register the bicycle. I wonder if you can set multiple items. It seems like it, because it had a like a 1 next to it. So it'd be great if you could bind 2 items, because a lot of times you want to bind like a fishing rod or something, or the item finder. But if you only have 1 slot, like in previous games, you have to unbind your bicycle, and then when you're done fishing or item searching, you have to rebind it. It's really annoying. I wouldn't mind having like 4 or 5 item slots, but I guess there's only so much screen space down there. I also really like how this game makes good use of that lower screen. A lot of games have like stupid things down there. Like if you look at my Pokemon X Let's Play, I think I kept the whole screen as just something useless for 95% of the Let's Play. Oh, okay. So she will tell you how much your Pokemon like you. Seems like Togepi likes us a decent bit. Not enough to evolve yet, but that's okay. Our journey together is still on its first stages. Okay, Bayleaf also trusts me. So I think these guys give you the TM for Return and Frustration, respectively. Return is a move that does more damage the more your Pokemon like you, and Frustration does more damage the less your Pokemon likes you. Up to a max of 102 damage, making it actually arguably the best, or at least the most useful, normal physical attack. It's something you'll see on a lot of Pokemon. I prefer Body Slam myself, at least for in-game, because it has a chance of paralysis. It only does 17% less, or 17 less damage, but Return is definitely a lot more powerful, so... oops, sorry about that. That means that SWTOR is done updating. And it also means I need to get ready for my raid, but let's visit 1 or 2 more places before I end the episode. Alright, they're not really saying anything useful. Oh, he's talking about PowerPoints. I guess it's good to know, though, if you're not somebody who's already in the know. So how do you increase the friendliness of your Pokemon? Plenty of ways. Just walking with them does it by a little bit. I think leaving the daycare doesn't. Making them faint loses things. There's also items you can buy which make them... you can feed them certain, like... I think they're like potions. I know there's herbs, they're called, that decrease your Pokemon's happiness. I'm not sure if there are equivalent ones to increase them. There's hell items that do, and basically just spending time with your Pokemon, fighting with them, giving them haircuts is a great way to increase it. Alright, so this is a flower shop. I can't have... sorry. Oh, so she's talking about the odd tree. We saw that a while ago on Route 36. And we can't advance really too much further than the city. And we can't get to the 4th gym until we get rid of that odd tree. So, we could water it, and then have to fight it, but she doesn't think we're strong enough, so we have to beat the gym leader first. That makes sense, and that is our motivation to defeat the gym leader. So it looks like we actually could explore the route north of here a little bit first. I'm not sure if I want to do that, or if I want to face the gym leader. So what I think we might do next episode, should be a fun one. This one had no battling in it, but the next one should be like pretty much all battling. I'll start with the first half, or the first third or so. I'll do a couple battles north of the city, and then once we're a little more trained up, we'll go ahead and take on Whitney and the Goldenrod City Gym. That should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too, and I will see you a little later on.